Looking for the edge? Welcome to Tea Time to Overtime. From the first tee to the final whistle, we're serving up game day insights, expert analysis, and can't miss betting picks. Whether you're riding the hot hand, chasing the underdog, or just here for the love of the game, we've got you covered. Like, subscribe, and let's hit the action. This is Tea Time to Overtime, and the game starts now. We're going to start things off with the NFL as the schedule dropped on Wednesday. Some of the biggest storylines from the schedule came out to be plenty of love, but a few matchups in week one that stood out to me. It's going to be the Eagles hosting the Cowboys in the season opener. And the reason why this is big for me is because this is the chance for the Cowboys to make that statement, to say, we're here to win the division. We're not going to let the Eagles run over us like they did last year. For the Eagles, game one of the season, opening night, you get to raise your Super Bowl banner. Like, how better can the hype be for a team that is dominantly favored to win the division than something like that? Okay, so all I'm saying, it's going to be a fun game. Those are always fun games, but again, that intensity I think is going to get cranked up a little bit more. So super excited to see that season opener. And not really a season opener, but still Sunday Night Football kicks off with the Ravens at the Bills. Week one, we get possible, and I mean possible. Actually, when I mean possible, I mean a very good chance that this week one loss or win could affect the Bills or the Ravens for a 2 or 3 seed. This could easily dictate home field advantage throughout the playoffs or not. These are two powerhouse teams that are going to make the playoffs. We know it, plain and simple. The only question is, as always, what seed are they going to be? So, Sunday Night Football, season opener, week one is full of great games, including division rivalries. Like, I feel like when the schedule comes out, we look at it, it's fun games the first few weeks, maybe sprinkled in with a few rivalries, divisional matchups, but I feel like the divisional matchups really don't heat up until, honestly, that second half of the season. But Monday Night Football, we are kicking it off with the Vikings at the Bears. And it's the Bears. They're probably not going to win the division, but a week one loss for the Vikings could be detrimental to them in chasing the Detroit Lions. Do I think it's going to be like it was last year, where the Lions only lost 2 games and the Vikings only lost 3 games, or they were tied and Detroit, I can't remember, please chat, remind me in the comments. But again, this has playoff implications here come week one. So super excited for Monday night kickoff, Sunday night kickoff, and of course the kickoff to the season, the 2025-2026 NFL season. These are games, winning and losing are going to shift the odds remarkably, and I will make that comparison afterwards, because we'll get to golf here in a minute, but I have not seen that type of shift in odds, I don't know, ever since I've been tracking them for the past couple decades or so. And granted, sports betting and other such things, it has changed remarkably throughout it. So again, excited to see it. Keeping the odds that we have here currently. Normally I go gambling strategies and betting picks after the headlines, but nothing's changed. Nothing's going to change until the start of the season, unless something weird happens, like somebody, like Aaron Rodgers retiring or something, even though he's not on a team, possibly be with Pittsburgh. But again, always keeping track of the odds, but nothing has changed so far for that one. But how about these rivalry matches and holiday games? So Oh, and a quick rematch as well. Almost forgot about this. Week 2, Eagles, Chiefs, Super Bowl rematch. Week 2, again, Eagles starting off against the Cowboys, and then the Chiefs, 2 big games. Again, playoff implications, division implications that we're talking about right here, right now. Super early in the team, so super excited for that. I'm going to lose my mind when the NFL season actually starts. Thanksgiving Day, loaded, as always. Packers, Lions, love it. Chiefs, Cowboys, can be fun. Bengals, Ravens, again, always a good game, especially these past few years when those teams get together. So Thanksgiving, as always, we're always excited for football on Thanksgiving. It is a great time. Besides getting with family and friends, the football makes Thanksgiving. Please don't tell my family I said that. Hopefully they're watching and they heard me say it as it was, but I love you guys. Is the NFL going global in a big way this year? Absolutely. They are making a huge push on the international slate, and it is absolutely wild. It is bonkers. We're hitting up 5 international games. 5 international locations and 7 international games. We're starting off with Brazil, Chargers versus Chiefs. Then we head to Germany for the Falcons and the Colts. Ireland, Steelers and Vikings. Spain has the Dolphins and the Commanders. Then we have 3 games in London. I mean, I'm all for growing the game, but I haven't, and maybe I'm not paying close enough attention, but I haven't really seen for the play on the players side, players and coaching side, how that international fame for the NFL playing all these games overseas has really kind of come to fruition on that side. Obviously the revenue side, the business side, of course, absolutely more jerseys are being sold. The recognition of the NFL is, again, the global name is expanding ridiculously. But will we ever see the side for the players? Again, let's talk hockey, let's talk PGA or just golf in general. We're starting to really, and have always for the NHL, seeing that international play. Where are these kids and players coming from? What does that prestige have from that area that they're coming from? So interested to see if that is ever going to come to fruition for the NFL and American football in that sense, or if it will just continue to be that global brand, that global brand awareness, and that revenue source, that business source. But again, we'll keep seeing, because this is a fair of years that the NFL has gone international. Not to this extent. Maybe last year they grew it a little bit more, but I mean, again, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, 7 international games that we will have fun watching. Again, the fan base, it's growing, but I would love to start seeing that transition between the players and the coaches in that American football competitiveness worldwide continue to pick up. Again, I guess I don't follow it close enough, so if you know if we are having some great American football leagues across the world, drop the links in chat on the social medias. You can find me at LuciferM1989 everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, a lot of the different platforms are where you like to listen to your podcast. So again, drop those in the comments. Would love to have a fun discussion with everybody on that. So shifting gears, as always, start out with the NFL. We're going to hit the ice with the NHL right now, as we have the playoffs heating up. So you are all asking, Lucifer, what's going on? What's our playoff update? Well, here it is. The Panthers, as of the recording of this, lead the Leafs 3-2. Tight games, high-scoring series. The Hurricanes They took care of the Capitals like they should have. Oilers handled the Golden Knights like they should have. Both of them taking 4-1 series. Stars and Jets, that's still heating up as well, as the Jets forced a Game 6. We'll see if Dallas can close them out. And as of this recording, the Panthers are playing the Leafs tonight, so we'll see how that shakes up. We'll see if the Panthers can't knock out the Leafs, and then if the Stars knock out the Jets Saturday for their game, round 3 championship. The conference championship started, so we'll see what happens. We'll see where the pucks drop on that one, and I will get to my picks and the futures here in a little bit. I'm not going to around like I did on you guys for the last time. So playoffs are going. Still kind of, playoffs is always this kind of the start of the off season for those teams that didn't make the playoffs. So coaching carousel, as we started a few weeks ago, we saw some firings, we saw some people not wanting to go back. So probably the most interesting coaching acquisition. So we're going to right on into this. It's a very interesting story. So Rick Tocchet leaves Vancouver at the end of April after Vancouver misses the playoffs by 6 points to the St. Louis Blues to get that final wild card spot. So he leaves Vancouver and he lands in Philadelphia. He's going to be the new head coach for the Flyers. Well, his assistant coach, Adam Foote, takes the reins over in Vancouver. Like I said, the Canucks were just 6 points off of that final playoff spot right behind the Blues. So are we going to see that solid foundation continue over with the assistant coach? I mean, Foote doesn't really have a head coach, especially in the NHL or even the AHL, but you have that promotion within, and clearly upper management and ownership believes that Adam Foote can continue the growth for the Canucks. So I'm excited for them. I'm really interested to kind of see how this happens, and it might keep them as a couple points higher in the odds, or I guess I should say a couple points worse for the odds, for them to win, to make the playoffs next year, etc., etc., etc. So we'll kind of see what happens on that front. Now, again, I don't know. The Utah Mammoths winning fans over with their new identity. It is a huge question, and me being a business guy, I am 100% believe that they have not only the buy-in from their players, but they have the buy-in from their fans. Again, last week we heard they had over 850,000 votes from fans in the area, those that have been following the Utah Hockey Club, to figure out that they were going to become the Utah Mammoths. And players like Alex Kerfoot and Sean Durzi, they love it. They love the logo. They love the fan support. And in their interview, they even called it unique. Because how often does any team or any business reach out to its community and say, hey, we want your help in pretty much coming up with the brand? We'll reach out to our inner circle. All business men and women, we reach out to our inner circle and say, hey, is this really a good idea? What do you think? I really don't know, so I want you to tell me the truth. And they will. They tell us the truth. We have those that will do that one. But when you reach out to that community, you're getting buy-in from them. They feel responsible. They feel a part of the team now. It's kind of like being a Green Bay Packer fan. You have stock and ownership within the team when you live in that city. I mean, again, you have complete buy-in. That team is going to be full for the next few years, no matter how good or how bad the Mammoths might turn out. So, doing everything right, absolutely love it, wishing them all the success but not too good of success because I got some other teams I follow before the Mammoths, and we'll keep an eye on them. So I wish them all the success next season. But I want to talk about their logo one more time, because as we see the subtleties within their home jerseys with that Mammoth logo, you get the mountain vibes, you get the subtleties of the M and the U. The team is all in, the fans are all in. It's going to be an exciting season for them next year, especially with, I think, the 10th overall pick that they landed as opposed to 20. So we'll see what they do to that. We still have a little longer to wait for the NHL draft, but hey, we'll keep it all up to date. We still have the playoffs going on. So my gambling tips for you, break it down individually of the two series that are still going on. Panthers, Leafs. So betting the plus 1.5 and the over. That's kind of where I'm feeling it right now. It's been a very tight game. I think only one game was decided by 2 goals or more, but 4 out of 5 games went over 7 goals. Now watch, I'm going to say this, and watch me say that. Here we go. I guess this is the announcer jinx. The under's going to hit, and the minus 1.5 goal is going to hit. That would be absolutely hysterical. But keep a lock on that one. Again, the Panthers and the Leafs, they're going hot and heavy. It's turning out to be a great series, just like the Stars and the Jets, which I'm almost looking at the opposite. I'm looking at the under for most of those games, as 4 out of 5 stayed under 5 total goals. So again, it's tight. It's not tight, but it's a low-scoring game, and those that are winning with 2+ goals pretty much that whole entire series. So look at the money lines for the team that you think is going to win on there. So heading into tonight's game with the Panthers and the Leafs, we have the shifting of the odds as we go through every week until the Stanley Cup. Your Edmonton Oilers are currently the favorites at plus 250. The Hurricanes are right behind them at plus 275. Panthers plus 300. Stars at plus 350. And the two teams that are behind in their series, Jets plus 2,000, Leafs plus 2,500, as they are facing elimination. Now, I say this, but keep an eye on those odds, or if you really want to take a gamble, that plus 2,500 on the Leafs, especially the way this series is going, just throwing $10 down on that would probably not be a bad idea. The Leafs are a solid team, but I'm going to stick with my picks as the Stars to represent the West in the Stanley Cup. And then I said that whoever, Lightning or Panthers, the Lightning, if I can figure out which way to turn, my Tampa Bay Lightning, old school, I had them to pick, but I also said whoever wins that series is going to win the Stanley Cup or represent the East. So I got the Panthers representing the East, and we're going to see how it rides. That's it for the ice. Now we're going to head on to the green, as we have the PGA Championship going on right now. But before we do that, we have to take a moment and recognize what we should take away from Sepp Straka's win at the Truist Championship. This was his 4th PGA Tour victory. His first obviously the first ever at the Philadelphia Cricket Club. But we had some big-time plays on a brand-new course. So GG's to Sepp Straka. Great win, great tournament, and a great way to lead into the PGA Championship. So excited to see what he's going to do at Quail Hollow. So this is an odd year that we have the Ryder Cup. We have the Ryder Cup coming in, and let's be real. The question is that I have been asked: could we see LIV players like Bryson, DeChambeau, and Brooks Koepka back in the Ryder Cup mix? And the answer is absolutely we can. Not just because they were invited to dinner, but because I believe Keegan Bradley is going to put aside, by the way, Keegan Bradley is the Team USA captain, for those that didn't know. He is going to put aside that LIV versus PGA political BS that's going on right now. He's going to find the best squad to represent the USA at Bethpage Black come September. Plain and simple. We're going to see some LIV players on both sides, not even in USA, but Luke Donald on the opposite side with the Europeans. He's going to go and find LIV players. He's going to find the best. It's such, like, there is so much emotion that goes into the Ryder Cup. Like, people don't realize what happens when sports teams and players go to represent their country. And it might not be in every sport, but in golf, I would say the only thing that it comes second to is the NHL and how those teams represent their countries. So we'll keep an eye on this. Of course, it's going to be a big deal, period. Media is just going to make a big thing of it. Look at me. I'm kind of making a big thing of it. If you really want to hear my true thoughts on LIV versus PGA, go back, listen to episode 1. I had a fantastic rant about that, and I'm sure I will probably rant about it more as we head on there. Now, is this the moment for Rory at the PGA Championship? We're at Quail Hollow. He got his career Grand Slam, which is an amazing feat as it is. And he owns that course. He owns Quail Hollow. Now, granted, the stats I'm about to read you is when the Wells Fargo Championship is played there. So it is not the conditions that we will see here at the PGA Championship. But Rory has won a remarkable 4 times at Quail Hollow. 10 top 10s and 14 starts. And he holds the course record at 61. And if he wins this, this is the start of the conversation of, will we see a Grand Slam within the same year? If he wins. He has the course pedigree. He has a great chance of doing it. But this is still a major. And this is still the cream of the crop, which I'll get to in a moment. Because Vegas got really confused after round 1. They got no clue what the hell to do and what to go. But we'll get to that in a second. Because Rory, again, I'm wishing him all the luck. It's going to be fun to watch him play. He loves this course. This course sets up for him. So as long as he's going to strike the ball like he normally does, we're going to have some fun. Round 1 was a little rocky for him, but we'll see if he can turn it around. It's still going to be a major championship. You're still looking at, probably 12, 13 under. That'll take it. So he's going to have to play his ass off here come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we'll see. The other biggest headline that we have here is, could Jordan Spieth pull off a career Grand Slam? PGA Championship is the only thing that he's missing. And if he completes this, it will be, when was the Masters? A month ago? Ish. We will have 2 players completing the career Grand Slam within a month of each other. Only Tiger Woods did it in the past 59 years. Jordan Spieth would be the 7th player of all time to do that. He is, the underdog of plus 4,000. But he's also Jordan Spieth. He's got some take. Again, rough round 1. So he's going to have to play. But he will most likely have to look at next year to complete his career Grand Slam. I know he's asked Ben if he's following that and all this other stuff, and is it a distraction, blah, 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 blah. But again, still Jordan Spieth. He's got the magic. He can do it, but he's going to have to play it. I don't think he's going to do it this year. So again, next year, I think we're going to be bringing this topic again. So, Vegas is confused. Very confused. So at the start of round 1, so before Thursday tee times, we had Rory McIlroy as the favorite at plus 325, Scotty Scheffler plus 425, and then Justin Thomas, third best, at plus 1,600. Things happen. That leaderboard after round one was not filled with your typical superstars, especially the three that I just mentioned there. So this is why I say Vegas was confused, because the odds that they have here and the names besides Scottie Scheffler, who's now favored to win at the beginning of round two, and plus 375, were not even in the top 5 to win at the beginning of this. So behind Scottie Scheffler, we have Bryson DeChambeau at plus 800. That is a huge gap in terms of round one and round two. Again, you have that closeness. I haven't yet seen this year that big of a discrepancy between the favorite and the one right behind him. Have not seen it, so this is going to be very interesting. And then we get to Tyrrell Hatton, who is third favorite to win at plus 1,400. Ludwig Åberg plus 1,800. Jon Rahm plus 2,000. And it's, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, going into round two, but I mean, we got Åberg and Rahm who are one bad round away of even missing the cut. And this is your top 5. Again, with what the superstars did, I honestly don't think Vegas really knew what to do with the odds, because you had a lot of names that weren't really up there. Again, that's the PGA Championship. That's what happens at any major, honestly, for it. So, again, we'll take a look on it. The only pre-game pick I made was Rory to finish in the top 5. Again, I think he's going to have to play his ass off here come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. After that horrible ball striking in round one. But it's Rory. I know he'll turn it around. I know he can turn it around. I think he'll add his 11th top 10 at Quail Hollow, but to finish top 5, that's going to be tough. And then, as always, I'm looking at the weekend matchups. I'm looking to have some fun, and those almost feel normal to me, considering most of my background when it comes to sports betting is hockey and NFL. So always excited. We got the major coming up. We'll be hitting the weekend here, but let me know your thoughts. Let me know who's going to win it. Again, leave your comments either here, wherever it is that you're listening to this amazing podcast at, or hit me up at LuciferM1989. Hit me up on Facebook at LuciferM1989, Instagram at LuciferM1989, or if you're watching this on YouTube, put the comments in there as well. Use the hashtag on the social medias. Tea Time to Overtime or Nerd Haven. Those are my 2 hashtags that I love to use in almost everything that I use. But that's a wrap for this week's Tea Time to Overtime. From the greens to the ice and every yard in between, we've covered the plays and the odds. Think you've spotted the next big upset or locked in a winning parlay? Let us know. Subscribe, rate, follow for your weekly dose of insights, predictions, and betting tips. And remember, play smart, bet responsibly, enjoy the game. This is Tea Time to Overtime. See you next time.